Today's session we are studying about nutrition. What are the nutrients present in the foods, and by the absence of these nutrients, what are the diseases we are getting? So let us start. What is meant by nutrition? You might have heard about what is meant by nutrition. Yes, it means the supply of essential organic and inorganic components to our body. So the essential organic and inorganic components to our body is called as nutrition. So the term you understood, the nutrition, the supply of the essential nutrients, that is organic and inorganic components. These organic and inorganic components we are calling it as what? Nutrients. So you heard in smaller classes different types of nutrients are present in the food. Now let me ask, what is meant by food? Anything what we eat or drink and that have some nutrients. So that is what is called as food. So different types of food at different times we are consuming. So anything, any substance what we eat or drink and that contains nutrients. Milk, fruits, your bread, you are eating idli, all these are different types of foods. Very good. And now you are going to the term what is meant by diet. The combination of food item which we eat in our meal is called as diet. The different diet, you can see that what diet you are following, sometimes it may be different from the diet of your grandmother or grandfather. So totally a different diet you can see in the young babies. So we can say the combination of different items which we eat in our food is called as what? Diet. There are four different types. You can see that in this diet, this balanced diet, four types are there. One is, it depends on age of the person. So you can see that a child, a young one or an old one. How you can say the diet depend on the age of the person? Yes, very small babies or a child, you can see that they need only, say for example, a newborn baby, 1 to 4 months, that baby doesn't want anything else except the mother's milk. So almost all the nutrients are present in that mother's milk. Whereas like you, young boys and girls, you can say that you need more foods. Yes or no? And comparing to the an old a 70 years old or an 80 years old person, what about their diet? Yes, they need still very less food. Comparing to you, they need very less food only. So it depends on the age of the person, you understood. Second factor is the sex of the individual, that is whether the person is male or female. So you can say that male need more food than the female, because usually they will do more hard physical work. Okay, so they need more food. So depending upon the sex of the person, whether the person is a male or a female, also the diet may different. Third one is a lifestyle. How the lifestyle? You can say that a farmer, you can say from morning to till evening he will be working. So what about his diet? He need less food or more food? Yes, quite obviously he need more food. And what about a sportsman? Totally a different diet he needs, because hard physical activity, also rigorous exercise he wants, all those things. So he need a different types of diet. Whereas a man who is working in an office or a lady who is working in an office, hard physical work is not there. So her diet will be, or his diet will be different. Then fourth one is special needed person. Who is this special needed person? Yes, sometimes those person who is in sick. That is, their usually digestion process little bit slow only takes place, and usually they used to take soft foods. So sick person, again you can see a pregnant lady, she has to eat more food. Yes or no? Usually they have to consume more food even for the proper growth of the baby inside. Okay. Then nursing mother. What is meant by nursing mother? One who is feeding, giving or breastfeeding the child. She also needs more nutrient-rich food because the baby gets the nutrient only from the mother's milk. So these are the four different types. Okay. Now you can see what is meant by meal. Different terms, and all these terms as nutrition you understood, nutrients, food you understood, diet you understood, and next term is meal. Meal is the food taken one time. So one time what? For example, noon time you will eat the rice and the curries you will be eating. Okay. So that one time what food you are taking, that is called as what? Meal. And what is meant by appetite? Appetite is the desire to eat. See, when you are not sufficiently, you have not eaten your food, you can see that you will feel that appetite, that is the desire to eat. Suppose today noon time you have fully, or yesterday noon time fully you have eaten. So say for example you had a biryani. Okay, and immediately some of your friend again he or she is forcing you to eat some other food. Can you be able to eat? No, because your desire to eat is finished, because your stomach is filled with the food already you have taken. So you can say that appetite, it is the desire to eat the food. Then another term is hunger. What is meant by this? These are all closely related terms only. Hunger, it is an uneasy sensation due to the lack of food. So when food is not there in our body, we will feel some sort of uneasiness, and this feeling is called as what? Hunger. We will say, no, I feel hungry. So hunger is the uneasy sensation due to the lack of food. So some similar terms only, a little difference only in the meaning. So first term is nutrition, second term is food, third term is diet, then next one is meals, and next one appetite, next one hunger. So all these terms meaning clearly you understood. Why we need this nutrition? Next is why we need this nutrition. So there are 6 important factors that why we need this food. First one, for growth. As you know that when you were small, say for example, when you were in first standard, your body size was not like this, you were a small one. Okay. So now you are in 9th standard. You can see certainly growth is in your body. How does this growth takes place? Yes, you can say that it is by the building up of new cells. You can see cell divide and redivide, and thus you can see growth occurs in the body. In each cell, the total content inside the living components inside the cell is called as what? Protoplasm. Okay, in the protoplasm you can see that a nucleus is present, then mitochondria, vacuoles, then Golgi bodies, like that so many organelles are present. So how this growth occurs? Mainly by the cell division. The cells start to divide, again it will divide, and thus in our body how it takes place? Growth takes place. So we can say that we need food mainly for first thing, that is growth. The second thing is that it is for repair. So what is meant by repair? What is meant by repair? Yes, you can see that when we are growing by any process, you can see that our body tissues or cells, it may get damaged or worn out tissues may be formed. Okay, this has to get healed. Or suppose a wound happen in your body, that part you can see that the cells will be destroyed. So in that place, what has to, the cell has to come, and by how it will be forming? Yes, it is by cell division. So again here providing material for the repair of worn out and injured cell. Then third one is energy. Our body need energy, isn't it? For all the physiological activities, what happens inside our body, for example, for the respiration, digestion, excretion, or like that, or for all the activities also our body need energy. Again, to do the other works, the physical work also, see, you are playing, or you are running, or you are jumping, you are reading, or even for sleeping also, what you need? Energy is needed. From where you are getting this energy? Yes, from the food from you are eating. So from the food items what you are eating, from that only what you are getting this energy. So from the food, the third thing what we are getting is energy. Now fourth one, you can see maintenance of chemical composition of the cell. Maintenance of chemical composition of the cell. So each cell you can see that it is made with so many chemical substance. So it should be in a correct proportion. To keep this in a correct proportion, what is needed? These nutrients are very much needed. Next one, provision for raw materials. So what is meant by provision for raw materials? Yes, manufacture of various secretions like enzymes, hormones, sweat, milk, etc. from our body. So you can say that the provision for raw materials means for the preparation of enzyme. You can see so many enzymes are there in our body. Like that, so many hormones are there in our body. Then sweat will be produced in your body. Okay. Then again milk will be produced from the mammary glands. All these are how by the addition of food in the body. Next one is protection. So protection means what? Our body, you can see that it will be getting so many types of diseases. If you are particularly, if your body is lack in these nutrients, you can say we will get so many diseases. So these nutrients which is present in the food protect our body from diseases and infection. So these are the six main purpose why we have to take the food. So once more, what are the six purposes for the need of food? Now one by one we can say which are the different nutrients. First one is, so this is the common almost all food what you are eating. You see, for example, you have taken a chapati. In that enough carbohydrate. You are eating a meal with the rice that is having enough carbohydrate. So almost all food items what you are taking, plenty of carbohydrate is present. And this carbohydrate, it is a compound of you can say carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So carbohydrate, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are the main elements present in the carbohydrate. And here you can say that hydrogen and oxygen always it will be in the ratio 2:1. Hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. So what are the elements present? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are the elements present where in the carbohydrates, and in carbohydrate always hydrogen and oxygen present in the ratio 2:1. 1. And you can say that this carbohydrate, it will get oxidized or combines with oxygen, and what it will do, it will release energy. And carbohydrate include sugar, then starch and cellulose. Mainly carbohydrate, it is of three types. One is sugar, then next one is starch, and the last one is cellulose. So three types, mainly carbohydrate. See, even what sugar you are putting in your tea, that includes the sugar. Okay. So next one is this starch, usually potato. It is composed of fully of starch. And again, cellulose, you can see almost all fruits and vegetables. It contains it because plant cell is made up of plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. So in almost all food items, these things will be available. So let us see one by one. So the main three types of carbohydrates are sugar, starch and cellulose. Now first we can study about sugar. And sugars are soluble in cold water. You know that already. Even in hot water as well as in cold water also sugar is soluble. And what's its taste? Yes, it is sweet in taste. And this sugar mainly of two types. One is called as monosaccharide and next one is called as disaccharide. So sugar again it is of two types. One is called as monosaccharide and the other one is called as disaccharides. So monosaccharides and disaccharides. So let us study about monosaccharides. From the name mono means what? Yes, it is one or single one. Sugars, and these are sugars with a chemical formula C6H12O6. What is the chemical formula of monosaccharides? C6H12O6. This is the chemical formula of monosaccharides, which consists of a single sugar and or it is very simple, and you can see that it is straight away it will be absorbed by our body. These monosaccharides will be absorbed very easily into our body. Still again you can see these monosaccharides again is of three types. So first one is glucose. So glucose means what? Usually it is a simple sugar I told you, and it is popularly known as grape sugar. You can say this glucose, usually commonly called as grape sugar, and it is the most common and simple sugar. When we say, you can say that in people, those who are having diabetes, they will tell that oh, my blood sugar is more. Okay, what does that mean? The same glucose level in the blood, that is they are mentioning there. So it's a simple sugar and found in all organisms. This is found, and this even in our blood also we can say this glucose is present. Second one is called as fructose. And this fructose otherwise known as what? Fruit sugar. So this is usually in almost all fruit it is present. So it is this fructose is the fruit sugar. And third one is called as galactose. And this is present in the milk. So three types of monosaccharides are there: glucose, fructose and galactose. Glucose, you can say it's a simple grape sugar. Fructose, it is a fruit sugar, and galactose, it is a milk sugar. Milk, when sweet in taste. So that is due to the presence of a kind of sugar which is called as galactose. Now coming to the disaccharides or double sugars. So here sugar itself, monosaccharides and disaccharide. Coming to the disaccharide, from the word itself you know that it is di means double sugar it is present. So we can see here the chemical formula is C12H22O11. C12H22O11. This is the formula, whereas monosaccharide C6H12O6, disaccharide C12H22O11. And here also you can say three types are there. This disaccharide also is three types, and this require digestion, whereas monosaccharide no need of digestion, it is very easily it will be absorbed into the body, whereas disaccharide you can say that it needs, because it is double sugar molecule and it needs digestion. So first one is sucrose. Disaccharide is again of three types. First one is called as sucrose. The name is sucrose, and the sucrose is a commercial sugar. So commercial sugar means what sugar you are buying from the shop. It is commonly obtained from sugar cane. You know that process also, sugar cane taken to the factory. Some process is going on, and afterwards you are getting the sugar which we are commonly called as what? Commercial sugar. And another source is sugar beet. These are the main sources of this sucrose, what we are commonly calling it as sugar. And it is a double sugar with what it is made up of? Glucose and fructose. So sucrose is made up of glucose plus fructose. So already I told you disaccharide, it's a double sugar and it is made up of two units, one glucose and one fructose. Combined together you will get what? You will get the sucrose. Then next one is called as maltose. So second type of disaccharide is maltose, and it is made up of two glucose molecules. So glucose plus glucose. So in maltose it is a disaccharide made up of two glucose parts. Okay. Third one is called as lactose. So third part is called as lactose, and it is made up of glucose and galactose. So now look at the chart clearly, you can understand. Carbohydrate is of three types. You can see that sugar, starch and cellulose. First we are studying about sugar, and this sugar again is a simple sugar, easily it will be absorbed. So there will be two types, one is called as monosaccharide and another one is called as disaccharide. Monosaccharide with the formula C6H12O6 and disaccharide with C12H22 and O11. Coming to the monosaccharide, again still three types are there. One is called as glucose. Next one is what ordinary sugar, and next one is fructose. This is grape sugar. Fructose, you can say this is the second type. Usually this is fruit sugar, and third one is galactose. This is milk sugar. Coming to the disaccharide, it is made with the two molecules. That's why the name di, and its general formula C12H22O11, and here Disaccharide is again of three types. One is called as sucrose. It is made with glucose and fructose. The second one is maltose, which is made with glucose and galactose. And third one is lactose. It is made with glucose and galactose. So this is all about the sugar part of carbohydrate. Next is starch. The second carbohydrate is starch. Are you familiar with the word starch? Yes, starch is an insoluble carbohydrate and it is a form, we can say, that plant commonly store carbohydrates. So, plant after preparing, after photosynthesis, you can see they will be preparing the sugar. That is the food material C6H12O6. That is the sugar it is preparing, and it cannot be stored like that. Immediately, you can say that it will converting into a compound called as starch. For storage, starch will be in the plant body. So, it is an insoluble carbohydrate. When we are eating a potato, say rice, maize, wheat, what is that is the stored food you are eating, isn't it? So, this stored food is nothing else what starch. And this starch, it has a formula C6H10O5. C6H10O5. Okay, here N is the number of carbon. And starch, usually a product is seen in the plant. Okay. Then this starch is called as polysaccharides. Why starch is called as polysaccharide? Now here you have seen monosaccharide, disaccharide. One saccharide group or sugar group, here two sugar group. Whereas the starch is called as polysaccharides because many sugar particles or sugar molecule is present. And that other two insoluble polysaccharides of carbohydrate, cellulose, I already wrote here, cellulose, and the other one is what? Glycogen. Cellulose and the other one is glycogen. So cellulose, you are familiar with what? The cell wall of any plant cell is made up of what? Yes, it is cellulose. So quite automatically when we are eating this food which containing cellulose, means vegetables, fruits, etc. containing plenty of cellulose. Okay. So actually it is not giving any particular mineral or something to our body, but for the easy digestion and the movement of these food materials in the gut, all these things are maintained by the cellulose content in our foods. And it providing main function of cellulose is to provide roughage fiber to our body. Okay. And glycogen, usually you can see the carbohydrate from the food what we are eating, that will be stored in animal's body in the form of glycogen. Whereas in the plant cell, it is storing in the form of starch. Here we are storing in the form of glycogen. So this carbohydrate, this roughage has a very fine role in the food. Though it does not provide any nutrients to the our body, you can see it is very fibrous. I told you, cellulose absorb a lot of water. As it is a plant cell wall, it is made up of cellulose. And in our food, when we include this fibrous type of foods, you can say this absorbs a lot of water and retain it, and thus keeping the fecal matter soft, and it prevents constipation. So including this roughage or cellulose type food in our diet is very important. So that's all about carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is one of the nutrients. Out of the 6 nutrients, carbohydrate we have learned. Now we can go to the fats. Fats are also composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, just like carbohydrate. Carbohydrate also composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, where hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. Here fat is also composed of the same elements, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the oxygen content will be much less in the fat. Okay, so oxygen content comparing to carbohydrate, oxygen content will be much less in the case of fat. And comparing to carbohydrate, we can say that fat gives more energy to you. So you are consuming certain grams, say for example 5 grams of carbohydrate and 5 grams of fat you are consuming, which give you more energy. Yes, definitely the fat give you more energy. So you can say that 1 mole of fat nearly 9.45 calories of energy it will be releasing. And what are the food items in this fat is present? Yes, you can see that usually in liver, oils, butter, then meat, fat, then fish. All these things, what is present? Fat is present. What are the functions of this fat to our body? Let us see. Fat produce energy, and just like how carbohydrate give energy to your body, like that fat also provide energy to our body. So which one give more energy? Of course fat give more energy. So just like how carbohydrate give energy to your body, in the same way fat also give out what? Energy to your body. Then another thing, it is one important storage form of the food. Third one is it is serves as a fat soluble solvent. Some fat soluble vitamins are there. We will come again with that one. So here fat acts as a solvent for dissolving these vitamins in the. Say that under the skin it acts as an insulator, providing heat to your body. These are the main 4 functions of the fat. First one, it gives energy to your body. Then it is an important storage form of your food, and it serves as a solvent in the fat soluble vitamins. And again under the skin it acts as an insulator.